Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to present the journal under the title of Implementation of Maqashid Shariah Principles in Establishing a Minimum Wage for Workers Based on Justice by Siti, Julaika, and Asri Wijayanti. Siti Julaika is graduate of Magister Shariah Law, and Asri Wijayanti is Faculty of Law, University of Muhammadiyah, Surabaya. The first is background of the study. Wage are the goal of every worker before doing work. Wage are inversely related to working. Wage are part of welfare, so worker always hope that wage will always increase. There is always the possibility of experiencing an increase. For employers or entrepreneurs, wage are considered as part of production costs that must be suppressed by the growth rate. For the government, wage should be viewed as something objective. Certain parameters are needed so that wage can be felt closer to a sense of justice. The formulation of the problem. How is the implementation of the principles of Maqashid Shariah that is fair in the process of determining the minimum wage for workers? The research methods. This research is normative juridical with a statutory and conceptual approach. Legal research that uses an approach by examining all law and regulations related to the problems or legal issues being faced both horizontally and vertically. The discussion. The determination of the minimum wage that has occurred in Indonesia is considered by some people to be unfair. Workers who have the competence and have a long service period do not receive the appreciation according to their competence. On the other hand, entrepreneurs with small capital will face criminal sanction if they are unable to pay workers wage according to the minimum wage. The minimum wage setting. Minimum wage are part of a form of wage policy. Wage are workers or laborers' rights that are received and expressed in the form of money and remuneration from the entrepreneur or employer to workers. Referred to as income that fulfills a decent living is the amount of revenue or income of the worker. Minimum wage is the wage received by workers whose work period is less than 1 year. The determination of the minimum wage must pay attention to the needs of a decent life, productivity, and economic growth. Here, the minimum wage calculation formula is. The next is Maqashid Shariah Principles. Maqashid Shariah has two meanings. They are, first, Maqashid al-Shariah al-Ammah, which cover all aspects of Islamic Shariah, or the second, Maqashid al-Shariah al-Khazas, which is devoted to one area of Shariah law only, such as Maqashid al-Shariah in the fields of economy, family law, law judiciary, muamalah law, or other fields. Al-Ghazali divides Maqashid al-Shariah into 5 categories. The first is Hifz al-Din, which means to maintain religion from corruption. The second is Hifz al-Nafs, which means to maintain life or soul. The third is Hifz al-Nazab, which means taking care of spring or family. The fourth is Hifz al-Aql, which means to maintain reason. The last, Hifz al-Mal, which means maintaining the property. Justice. Adil has three meanings. The first, al-adl, means the same. Al-qis has the meaning of affair, and the last is al-mizan, can mean justice. The concept of legal justice. Determining the minimum wage for fair worker. Second, determination of the minimum wage contains the five main elements of Maqashid Shariah. Third, must be implemented based on the provision of the applicable laws and regulation. Implementation of Maqashid Shariah principles in determining minimum wage. The determination of the minimum wage for workers is regulated in the Surah Al-Nahl, verse 90, namely here. The above verse means instructed by employers to be fair to their relatives or workers, also to be kind and generous to them. There is hadith from the Prophet that related to giving wage to workers as follows here. And then the implementation of the Maqashid Shariah principles in determining the minimum wage are: first, hifz al-din, or maintaining religion, meaning implementing Shariah commands and abandoning Shariah prohibition in bermuamalah or employment. Second, hifz al-nafs, or maintaining the soul, which means the number of wage can meet the living needs of workers, which include the cost of food and drink, clothing and shelter. The third is al-nasab, or maintaining the offspring, which means the existence of employment insurance that can guarantee the survival, health, and education of workers' children. Fourth, hifz al-aql, or maintaining intellect, which means the number of ways can meet the health of cost of workers. The last, hifz al-mal, or maintaining property, which means no workers' rights are eliminated. Finally, we came to the conclusion part. The result of the study state that the essence of Maqashid Shariah is the goal or wisdom of the law itself, which aims to create the benefit of mankind in the world and the hereafter. Maqashid Shariah consists of five aspects. First, hifzu al-din. Second, hifzu al-nafs. Third, hifzu al-aql. Fourth, hifzu al-mal. And last, hifzu al-nasab. The five goals of Maqashid Shariah that must be implemented in determining workers' wage are fulfilling financial rights for workers, fulfilling a sense of justice, fulfilling workers' needs for survival, oriented to be afterlife, and immediate payment or disbursement. Okay, everyone, that's all I think. Thank you for your attention.